This is New Amsterdam Vape, and in this video, I'd like to share my DIY e-liquid recipe for a strawberry apple flavor. This is a very simple recipe that I would consider to be a great start for beginners, since it only requires 2 flavors. The flavor profile for this recipe is a refreshing fruit and sweet inhale with a slightly tart aftertaste. This is a very natural fruit flavor blend that is not candy-like. Both the natural strawberry and apple complement each other to make a flavor that is very satisfying to the tongue. These flavors are from the Flavor Apprentice, but other vendors make similar flavors that can be substituted into this recipe. The percentages for this recipe are strawberry ripe at 6% and apple at 5%. I'll break down the flavor profiles of each of these 2 flavors. Strawberry Ripe by the Flavor Apprentice is one of my favorite strawberry flavors. This has more of a natural strawberry fruit flavor, which I prefer as opposed to other strawberry flavors that taste like a strawberry candy. This flavor is a PG based flavor, and I recommend using this flavor at anywhere between 5 and 10%. It's a subtle flavor that can be drowned out easily by other stronger flavors, so I find I use this in higher amounts depending on what other flavors I'm using. This apple is a crisp apple flavor that is naturally sweet and not a candy-like sweetness. This is less tart than the other apple flavors available from the Flavor Apprentice, but still has a small amount of tartness on the exhale. This is a PG-based flavor that also contains water and polysorbate 20. I did some research about polysorbate 20 and found that it's a wetting agent used in flavorings, but I didn't turn up any information about it being harmful for inhalation. Either way, it's good to know what's in your flavorings that you're using for your e-liquid. I've been using this flavoring for a while and haven't noticed any ill effects. I recommend using this flavor at percentages between 5 to 10%. If you're going to be mixing this recipe by weight with a scale, remember that PG weighs 1.01 grams per milliliter, and each individual PG-based flavor can weigh more than this. You can round off all of these figures to 1 since the margin of error is very small, but for extreme accuracy, it's good to find out the actual weight of each milliliter of each flavor that you use. I did some research and found a list of gravities for the Flavor Apprentice flavors. Strawberry Ripe weighs 1.041 grams per milliliter. Apple weighs 1.04 grams per milliliter. Don't forget that VG weighs 1.26 grams per milliliter. Depending on what strength of nicotine you're using, as well as the fluid base, the weight of the nicotine can vary. I recommend this recipe at a ratio of 70% VG to 30% PG. I normally like my recipes to have more VG for a smoother, cloudier hit, but the PG is necessary to retain the flavor. Not enough PG in a recipe can lose the flavoring since it doesn't bind as well to the VG very well in the steeping process, causing it to take longer to steep. I find this recipe doesn't take a lot of time to steep, and it's good after a week, but you can let it sit up to 2 weeks. Remember to shake the bottle daily and help the ingredients mix and meld together. This batch of strawberry apple was made at a nicotine strength of 3 milligrams per milliliter and turned a light yellow color after 1 week of steeping. Nicotine can alter the flavor of your liquid, depending on the desired nicotine strength that you want for your liquid. I recommend for liquids that will have 12 milligrams per milliliter of nicotine or higher to increase the percentage of each flavor used in the recipe by 1%. This will add a bit of strength to the flavor so it's not lost by the nicotine. This is a very simple and delicious fruity flavor for any beginners looking for a simple recipe to start with when experimenting with DIY. I find these fruit flavors are always enjoyable and make a good starting off point for experimentation to add in other flavors to complement them. Let me know how you like this recipe and any additions you make to it. This has been New Amsterdam Vape, and if you found this video helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe.